I'm not, because you told me to. You got it.
And we're live.
2021. 2021. We here, y'all. We here. Better late than never. We here. We here. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard to another episode of the Fr8ght TrapN podcast. I'm your host, James Roberts.
And this is your girl, Tawana Roberts, a.k.a. the Queen of Dispatch. And we live, baby. It's 2021.
Man.
I'm going to share this on social media. And we're going to kill this noise on here. But yeah, we're live. It's 2021. And man, we were having some technical difficulties here today. But that's all right, because, you know, your girl went and upgraded. And now she's a part of the Mac book family, and so we're going to be transitioning next week into that, because my HP has a really big system. Let's see, but we live.
Well, as for me, I don't even have a laptop, so I mean, that's because I just do so much, and when I'm in my truck, by the time I get home, I'm sleepy, but I have a PC, and so I have to do all my work when I get home. So she want me to all that Mac, Apple stuff. I'm not into it. Just give me a phone, and she's the geek of the family, so I just let her have that. You know, I try to learn where I can from her. But welcome to Fr8ght TrapN podcast, and we're here tonight, and we want to welcome you guys. And what you got there?
My beautiful glass. I was just showing the people. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it got an R on it. So, but welcome to Fr8ght TrapN podcast. I am your man, your homeboy, your co-pilot. Hey, we riding tonight. We riding tonight. Hope you guys are out there safe. I hope you guys are out there taking your time, getting the way you're going, being efficient, and just making sure everybody else around you are safe. Hey man, I just want to tell you guys, everybody was saying, you know, I can't wait to 2021. 2020 been this, been that, been this, been that. But my whole take on it is, the world keeps going. God is who he is. And whether you in 2020 or 2021, we still have to fight and have faith and move forward, just as we have when any other disease has hit and started running rampant through America and the world. So 2021, you know, just rolled in, and we're gonna keep on rolling. We're gonna keep on trucking. We're gonna keep on moving freight. We're gonna keep on doing what we do until God says otherwise. And so I just want to have you guys. I want to welcome you guys, and I hope you guys do the same. So, as you know, this particular episode, my wife will be interviewing me, which, you know, was a surprise to me. That she said, "You're gonna be first, 2021." So at this point, I'm gonna step back.
Yes.
And I'm gonna give her the host hat and take it away.
All right. So we're live. Thank you guys, first of all, for just joining us on tonight. We had some technical difficulties. I want to just apologize for the individuals that have just joined us. We normally start around 6 o'clock, pretty sharp, but we had some technical difficulties. But we are here, and we have an amazing interview tonight. I definitely felt the spirit lead me to ask my husband if I could interview him. We have been extremely blessed, he and I, with just a wealth of knowledge. We've been in this industry collectively well over 35 years, combined with the years of experience that we have together. And we've been able to serve in this industry with the spirit of excellence. And so I felt that there was no other person that I would want to bring in the new year with on our podcast, no other than my husband, James Roberts. James has so much experience in this industry. He has tapped into several different lanes in this industry of transportation. And so because of that, I wanted to bring him on. He is a loving father. He's an amazing husband. He's a professional businessman, and he's a professional truck driver. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be interviewing tonight my amazing husband, Mr. James Roberts. So I really want to just kind of dive into it on tonight. I want to go straight into it. I didn't write anything down. I wanted this interview to be so organic because I know my husband is a beast, and I know he knows so much. So I really didn't have to plan, any questions.
So basically, this is going to be kind of like pillow talk.
No, I don't.
Really no. What I mean by
talk. So I don't.
No. Because sometimes we're laying in bed.
Okay.
And you're still working, and I'm trying to sleep, and you ask me a question about trucking, about transportation, and that's why I say it's gonna kind of be like pillow talk.
Well, let's get into the interview. What I want to ask you, because I've had some other people during some consultations I've had ask me, questions about you. And so let's tell the viewers who you are, and let's talk a little bit about what you've been through in your past.
Okay, my name is James Roberts. I'm gonna just skip to, after high school. My start was halted by a trip to TDC, which is the Department of Corrections. I got in trouble by high school. My partial scholarship was pulled because of that. And from there, things got really rough. I kept hustling. And then in 1991, the 10-year probation that I did have got revoked. And at that point, I went to TDC, penitentiary. Upon getting into TDC, I was young. Wow, I went in when I was 20, turned 21 in there. And it was just rough. I mean, it was rough, coming from the urban area, coming from where we come from. It was rough. I had to just kind of suck it up and become a man. I didn't have a lot of men in my life. My father wasn't in the house. And so at the end of the day, the guidance just, wasn't there. But moving forward, I had 10 years probation, which they gave me. I went in, I did 10 years. And 10 years, 10 months, like 29 days. It kind of slips me. I used to know it. But as you are out and you begin to succeed and you begin to move forward with your life after being released from that situation, a lot of us, we hold on to it because we need to always remember what we went through. But as time goes on, for me, I've kind of just allowed it to slip out of me because I'm always going to remember where I've come from or what I've been through. Always. That'll never go away. I just don't need to remember the time, the date, down to the T.
Mm-hmm.
So um I began to I was released in 2003. You got a question? I was released in 2003. Came home, and let's back up a minute. I was bad for the first 3 years. I was locked up. I'm talking about getting in trouble, doing everything. After that, I ran into an older guy who kind of mentored me in the situation that I was in at that time. And when he began to mentor me, I realized what mentoring was to young men and women, how important a mentor was in if it was important at that point in the penitentiary, it had to be important in life.
Mm-hmm.
Period. You know, and then as the years went on and he moved on, got out, and then I had other guys that wasn't really mentors, but we kind of like walked side by side
Mm-hmm.
and kind of held each other accountable. Hey man, keep your head, what you're focused on,
Mm-hmm.
keep your goals. Make sure you write down everything you want to do when you get out so you can stick to it.
Right.
I began to do that. And over the next 7 years, I began to elevate and I began to see how when you make a plan, God begins to elevate you even in that situation. God begins to elevate you. Don't get it twisted. I had some hiccups along the way because for me, for me, I hate being saying you can't go to this area or this place. So I was always like, how you gonna tie me down here and I'm already locked up? So I would always get out of place, what they call out of place cases, meaning that I lived in B, but I was always in C, or I was always in A, or I was always at the gym. You know what I mean, or somewhere I was supposed to be. So I brought up the mentor because it plays an important role in all of our lives. And when somebody tell you they don't need one, I will highly disagree.
Yeah.
So moving forward, my life changed when I met that mentor right there at that point
But,
in penitentiary.
and let's stick a pin right there because I'm glad you said that because mentorship, it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. No matter if you are locked up in TDC, the Texas Department of Corrections, or if you know, out in the free world, you need a mentor.
Yeah.
Someone that's going to be there to do what? Help you, guide you, support you,
hold you accountable,
and hold you accountable in whatever situation you're in. And that was good because I think a lot of people that are right now, not just in corporate, but even in entrepreneurship, they kind of struggle with that. And I think that was a good piece of information that you just shared, not even knowing that that's something to help somebody, because it doesn't matter what situation you're in, you still need some type of mentorship to hold you accountable and to help you and, support you in the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve, whether it's trying to, be good while you're incarcerated.
Yeah, for sure.
Or even if you're just trying to build a legacy and build that thing, for your family. So go ahead.
For sure. So at the end of the day, mentoring right there at a point where some people will consider your lowest point, and then being released in 2003 from that situation, that mentor allowed me, or he helped guide me into building the things that I needed on a list. And while I was in there, it was one thing that I had on my mind. It was, further my education, which I was taking classes. But then I also knew that education would help me to know things, but would it help me to move things?
Mm.
So what I did was I said, what's going to help me move things? What's going to help me move my life to the next level? And I was introduced to trucking in the penitentiary because they do have a course. They have trades where you can take drafting, you can do CAD, you can do you can be a barber, you can go to barber school, all that type of stuff. They also had a trucking school, which you do know that, you know, every penitentiary they use every inmate for whatever it is they need to be done. If, you know, the ones that's out in the field, they getting the vegetables, the ones that washing your clothes, they're not going to bring somebody in there to do that when they have labor within the walls. So they have a CDL course that they use, what we call S2s, S1s. You have to be an S2 or S1 to move product or move what they have for commissary, for the kitchen, clothing, whatever they need to put on the truck. They have CDL drivers that will drive and follow another TDC officer that is a CDL driver also to and fro across, taking stuff across Texas for the system. So I started looking into that, and I couldn't get it because I had what they call an AG crime, which was it's not aggravated. It wasn't, you know, aggravated enough to where they could put aggravated on it, but they put an AG on it where they could say, oh, you had a violent crime. So that knocks you out of everything. So the farthest I could go was a S3, which was, you know, you can't go beyond the walls with an S3. With an S2 or S1, you could. So now I'm stuck, right? I'm stuck. So I started cutting hair. That was my next avenue. I started cutting hair, got good. I went all the way up, did my thing. But the thing about it again, here we go again. They cut out barber college because of the straight razors. So now I can't go get my barber's license while I'm in there. But I'm still cutting hair. I'm still doing my craft. That's still another trade under my belt. I'm building myself while I'm in the penitentiary, right? So now, even though I can't physically be a driver in a truck, I began to read on transportation, trucking. I began to study, you know, what it was. I began to understand, you know, the different levels of trucking. I began to know and set goals for where I wanted to be in trucking. I began to understand what it was I wanted to move, what I wanted to haul, what I didn't want to haul. I began to understand all of that stuff while I was inside. So that's where the seed was planted for me to be in transportation. And that's where I think that's where I know that's where the passion began, because when somebody tell me no, I get a fire in me and I be like, I'm gonna do this. If it's not gonna be here, it's gonna be somewhere. So I began there. And so I just started learning, start understanding, you know, I first began to understand the mechanics of the truck. You know what I'm saying? Understanding what you need to do to shift, how to do a pre-trip, understanding what it is that you need to understand while you're on the road, while you're behind the wheel. What's the most important thing to understand while you're driving? Because the easiest thing you can do is put the truck in between two lines and go straight. That's the easiest thing you can do in the truck.
Tell it to the people again. What's the easiest thing you can do?
You can put the truck in between two lines and go straight.
Okay.
That's the easiest thing you can do. The hardest thing you can do is back in a truck, jackknife style. That's the hardest thing. You get to a pilot, or you get to your destination and it's tight. If the only thing you know how to do is get it from A to B in a straight line, you stuck. Because if you get to your destination and you come up you come upon obstacles to where you have to kind of figure out.
And let's stick a pin right there,
Yeah.
because I have Netra. She wanted to know, in our opinion, if trucking is for women. And I responded to her and I said, trucking is for anyone that's serious about the industry and ready to tackle the good, bad, and the ugly. And then I told her, yes, it's for women. And so she came back and said she's been wanting to drive since she was 7 years old.
Wow.
So as he's telling you now, that if you get into trucking and you're a driver, the easiest thing you can do is drive between two lines.
So I want to say this here to that.
Yes. Speak to Ms. Netra.
If you had a passion at 7 and it hasn't went away, it's still there. See, those are the kind of people that when you tell people I've been wanting to do something since I was this, I was that, and then you're doing what you said you wanted to do, that's when you start to be successful. For me, when I see a woman in trucking, or when I used to see a woman in trucking, I used to be like, dang, what? You ready for this? Oh man, my daddy was this, my daddy was that. I'm good. Okay, bet. I've seen women put me in the shame. I've seen a woman put me to shame. A woman taught me something on the road. So women are definitely needed in trucking. Women are definitely wanted in trucking. Women are definitely, sometimes what trucking is missing. And it's a lot of women out there saying, man, I can't do it. I got kids, da 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 da. Hey, listen, if you got a passion for it, God will make a way.
Oh, yes, he will.
God will make a way. And I want to say to Ms. Nietzsche, if you had a passion for it at 7 and you still have it now, man, go for it. You just don't know. I tell my wife every morning. And when I go to work, I tell my supervisors, I have to be to work at a certain time. I've been so in tune with this as a driver, as a professional driver. If you need to be from point A to point B and you have to be there at 8 o'clock the next morning, I'm not trying to be there at 8 o'clock the next morning. I'm trying to be there at 7.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be there at 6.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm trying to be there at 4 or 5 because then I can sleep and get rest. That way, when I get unloaded, I can get to where I'm going and I got that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I built that up in me and my clock in me. Every time I have to be somewhere, I'm always there either 30 minutes to an hour early. Because that's just how I'm built. That's just how this thing called trucking and me getting to where I want to be and me getting to where I'm going. And I'm always getting there either early. I'm getting there early. And so when I show up at work and they say, hey man, you early. I mean, that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I just who I am. I come, I say, I love what I do. I don't get out of bed groaning and moaning and mumping. And where I am now is a goal that I set. You know what I mean? It's a goal that I set once I got my license and I started moving and I started shaking and I started doing stuff and I started learning and I started tapping into people who knew more than me and I started understanding what this was and that was and I started running into issues and I started doing this and doing that. Man, I fell in love with trucking.
Yeah.
I fell in love with running over the road. I fell in love with the new scenery. I fell in love with going to different places. After you've been locked up for 10 years, man, being able to go to Wyoming, being able to go to Rock Springs, being able to go to Utah, being able to go to Seattle, being able to go to California, being able to go to places that people would never hear of, like Parachute, Colorado. Parachute. It's out, and I promise you, You need a parachute to get there. I promise you, because it's at the highest, peak in Colorado. So at the end of the day, all of those run-ins and those mishaps, I lived in those moments. I talked about moments last week. I lived in those moments, and I didn't take it for granted, because I knew that was going to be a part of my story. I knew it was going to be a part of when I began to mentor somebody else. And yes, I did have a mentor in trucking. You got to have mentors in life, period. Even as a minister, you have to have a mentor. You have to have somebody that's going to sharpen you, and you sharpen them. You right? That's what a mentor does. I sharpened the dude in the penitentiary, sharpened me, got me prepared. He sharpened me. Then the mentor I had in trucking, he sharpened me.
Yeah.
And then, like they say, the student became the teacher.
Right.
And I can say that because where my mentor mentors, I've had more than one. Because I've driven, let's just back up, got out the penitentiary, did a little bit odd jobs for about 6 months, went and got my license. I'm talking about went straight into DPS, took the test. I had to take the general knowledge like 4 times because that general knowledge was a beast. But I took the test. All the rest of my endorsements, boom, 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 boom. Got them from the get-go. I'm talking about because my mentor told me, man, get everything on your license. Don't even have to go back and get it. Right?
That's powerful though, that you had someone in your life that told you straight up, get it all.
Yeah.
Get it all. Stop focusing on, just good enough. But go in and get it all.
Get it all.
Yeah.
I went and got it all because with an X being on my back, I knew that I had to make myself look more attractive than the next man going in trying to get the same position. Right? And that was the only way I was going to be able to beat out the next man is all of that. Because if you say, I need you to have a hazmat, or if you say, okay, I just need CDL, but then at the end of the day, I'm thinking, okay, I got a CDL, I'm good. But then you go in there and he say, what other endorsements you have, and he see all of that on your license, he might say, well, your background ain't that good, but you got the experience.
Yeah.
You got the endorsements. And I like you.
Yeah.
You interview well.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm up. I'm going to give you a chance. And I tell anybody, and that's what my focus is when you ask me about 4 years ago, you say, man, what is it that you want to do? What's your passion? And I told you my passion is trucking. Okay, what else is it that you want to do? I say, I want to teach. I want to teach people about this trucking thing. I want to teach people about how to do trucking the right way. Because I've seen a lot of people do it the wrong way. They still do it the wrong way. I've seen owner operators. I worked for owner operators to where I had to literally just pray, man, just get me back to Houston. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, let me back up. Got out, got my license. Went to a CDL Express school, or not a school, but business that allowed me pay them to get my license. That was back in the day when all of that was good. Went got my license, went got the truck, went up there, did my road test, passed with flying colors, got my license, and I was off to the races. Now it was all about finding somebody who was going to give me a chance without having no experience, but seeing that I had a lot of passion.
Mm-hmm.
So I continued to work where I was. So what I did was it was this scrap yard that was right next door to where I inspected steel bars. I was a supervisor. I inspected steel bars. We heat treated steel bars while I got my CDL. So it was a scrap yard that was right next door, and it just popped up because it was just a load of land. So what you do at a scrap yard, you just bring all the scrap there, you put it in a container because they're shipping it overseas. So you just take the container to the Port of Houston, drop it, pick another one up, and come back.
Mm-hmm.
So while I'm working, I'm driving the forklift, so I go across the street because we had a pipe. We was storing pipe right next to him. So I see this little short chick out there and a little bright dude. So I'm like, yo, man, I'll let y'all. And what's up, homie? I said, say, man, what's this about? Woo, woo, woo. So he ran down everything what it was about. I let him know. He said, I'm the driver, but I'm contracted to them. And I let him know who I was, what I was doing, what I was trying to accomplish, what I wanted to do. He was like, say, bro, man, I'm gonna get you in.
Mm.
He say, that truck right there, they looking for a driver. I say, for real? He say, yeah. He say, you can drive a 10? I say, man, I can drive anything you put up under me. And I say, if I can't, can you show me? He said, yeah. That's another mentor. Even though it wasn't a long period.
Yeah.
When somebody say they'll show you something, that's somebody pouring into you what they know. And see, he had his own truck.
Yeah.
And he was leased on to them. So I started, what I started doing was I was working mornings, but they didn't work at night because they only worked until Port of Houston closed.
Okay.
They needed somebody that was going to be there at 6 a.m. to be at the Port of Houston to either drop a container, pick a container up, bring it back to the yard, and they was paying at that time, they were paying $625 a week straight cash. They didn't ask me, they just wanted to see my license. They didn't ask me for no social security or nothing. I might be putting too much out there, but that's what it was.
Talking too much.
Yeah, but this what it is. We in the trap. I'm giving you game. This what it is. I ain't gonna take nothing back. This what it is. This part of my story.
Yeah.
So got on with them. I would go there, work from 6, sometimes until 6 or 7, cause I get stuck at the Port of Houston trying to drop a container. Then I wouldn't get back to the yard until 7 o'clock. And then I'll drop the container, I'll leave the truck. And so who you waving at?
Valente.
Oh.
Shout out to Valente.
So I drop the truck, then I go home, and I have to be back at work as a supervisor that night for 10 o'clock. Right? I can tell this story now because don't nobody know where I used to work. So I would get to the heat treat plant, set everything up. I was supervisor. Set all the workers up, set everything up. I promise you, this is how much I wanted to get into trucking, but I wasn't in deep enough yet to say, bump this job, right? Because they had insurance and all of that, right? So I would get to work, set everybody up, go up to the office.
Y'all just FYI, I be loving to hear his stories. He just be talking. You guys, he just be killing me. But go ahead.
So go upstairs, light on for a little while doing the paperwork. Once I don't hear nothing for about an hour or two, the light go off, I go to sleep. I will go to sleep. You know what I mean? As long as ain't nothing happening and ain't nothing burning up, ain't nobody hurt, I'm good. And they can always call me, right? So I did that for like a month. And so what happened was uh, one of the workers got mad at me, and so when we was there one morning, we was getting ready to get off. They was telling me, "Hey man, oh, you need to talk to such and such, such and such. Somebody caught him back there sleeping by the such and such, such and such." So I'm saying to myself, "How the hell I'm gonna tell him about sleeping, and I'll be up there asleep?" So I go to the dude. I say, "Man, bro, you can't do it." Like, this dude had a pallet back there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about a pallet of cardboard that he would sleep on.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Man, you can't do that." "Oh man, how you gonna tell me?" I said, "Oh, here we go." So then I said, well, it's time for me to make a decision, because I know the shit finna hit the fan. Right? So I say, well, I went home. I said, well, I'm gonna let them call me. I went home. It just so happened to be a Saturday. We was off.
Natural say the pot calling the kettle black.
Exactly. So I went home, went to sleep, come up Monday. Supervisor say, "Hey, I need to talk to you. Come into the office." So I told him, I said, "I can't come in the office." So he said, "Hey, but we need to talk." I said, "Okay." Work right next door. So I was like, okay. Told them I'm gonna be a little late. It's a Monday. They still trying to plan out the week.
And y'all share. Hit that share button on YouTube, guys.
Yeah, and subscribe.
Hit that share, subscribe.
Don't cost you nothing.
Yeah, don't cost you anything.
Hit the like.
Just hit the
comment,
share button.
Yeah.
And copy that link, post it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And share it so people can join in and hear this, because we're talking about going from 10 to 20.
Yeah.
To being successful in this industry.
And let me explain the 10 to 20. 10 to 20 is not the years that they gave me. The 20 ain't. I had 10 years probation. I violated it. Went down and did 10 years. So I got the 10 years that I was on probation, right? The 20 represents the 10 I was in, and then the 10 it took for me to elevate past. That's 20. God elevated me after the 10 years. So when you're locked up, you're saying, I did 10. Now I need another 10 years when I get out to kind of erase that 10 I did in the penitentiary.
Right.
It might not make sense, but that's the way we think.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It might not make sense.
It makes sense to me. I don't know about anybody else, but I
so for me, I did 10. Then it took 10. So that's 20. Right? So now I'm past 10 now. I've been out past 10 years. Thank God. I've been out, I ain't been in no trouble, nothing. So I've been out past 10 years now. And so that's the elevation.
Yeah.
The second 10 is the elevation, will bring you to 20. All of that 20 years is a part of my story. That's why I say I'll never forget it. So that's the 10 to 20.
Yeah.
Not 10 to 20 years, but the 10 to 20 ratio that it took for me to get from the stop part where my life was supposed to be starting. It stopped. But then it started over again 10 years later. And then 10 years after that, it's elevated.
And shout out to Netra for just really being just dedicated and faithful this evening. She said you had to stop fighting your past to fight your future. I know that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to make a decision when they called me in there. Before I even went in there, I knew what I was going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
He say, James, man, let's talk. I said, we ain't got to talk. I said, man, look, I want to change careers. I've been trying to do this and do my newfound passion. I say, Todd, I hate to tell you, I got to go.
Yeah.
I say, we ain't even got to talk about what nobody say. We ain't got to go back and forth about nothing. I say, man, it's been wonderful working here. I'm not trying to burn no bridges. I say, but I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. I say, I can't, I say, you're a good dude. I say, I like the company. I say, but I got another passion. This not my passion.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, I want you to stay because all I was finna tell you was I need to bring you back to first shift because we need you. I know y'all having issues on whatever. I say, I can't do it, man. My heart somewhere else. My mind somewhere else. And in my mind, I'm running myself ragged. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that I'm doing that, I realized one day when I was at the Port of Houston and I seen it's a rat race down there. It's a rat race. I'm not finna call out, who the rat race between, but it's a rat race. Mm-hmm. And this truck was trying to get out of there and go get a chassis, and this other truck just T-boned him. Bah! I said, oh, I say, man. And then another time, dude was going around that curve right there, coming off of 225, going around the 146 to get to the Port of Houston. And they call that, it's an elevation, but they call that dead man's curve because they lost, before that, they had lost two. Then after him, he was trying to get around there too quick. And I think his container was top heavy. And what I mean by top heavy is at the top of the container, it was heavier than it was at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So when he hit that curve and it was just too much going one way, he went over the rail. Mm-hmm. Mm. He went over the rail. Okay. And that's when I realized how sensitive this trucking, mm-hmm, being behind that wheel is. And I decided that day that I'm finna give trucking my undivided attention. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that's what I wanted to do. Okay. So I moved, went into my passion, started working. I started rolling with the containers, mm-hmm, doing that. I went from the containers. Also in the container game, in that scrapyard game, I also learned how to on the job training, learn how to use a roll off. I learned how to use the PTO. I learned how to use basically everything you needed. The only thing I don't know how to drive is a dump truck. Mm. But it's for me, it's the same principle as a roll off.
As a roll off, I would say the same thing.
Roll off. So I know how to do roll offs. I got experience in roll off. I could teach anybody how to do a roll off. I could teach anybody how to. Containers are the easiest thing you can do. Mm-hmm. So that's what normally you start in containers. So roll off experience. Went from roll off experience, started doing flatbed. I did flatbed over the road for almost 10 years. Mm-hmm. Almost 10 years. But I already knew that these were just stepping stones. Mm-hmm. I knew they were stepping stones to where I wanted to be. Mm-hmm. Did that, and while I was doing flatbed, I ran oversized. I operated RPGs. Okay. I did oversized. I did over height. I did wide loads. Mm-hmm. I also did. I had my first taste messing with a reefer, okay, which I don't want to mess with again. Okay. I don't like reefers. So within the flatbed game, I learned a lot. Mm-hmm. Moved from flatbedding, went into hauling chemicals. Mm-hmm. Cause for me, that's where it was. Yeah. Started hauling chemicals. I drove chemicals for 2.5 years from Houston all the way to Long Beach, California. Mm-hmm. And that was when I got into that chemical game, I was like, oh, I'm here. I got it. Got that experience, did the chemical thing, and I was just learning so much, hooking up, being safe, learning what to do. Then I went from running chemicals for the 2.5 years to I moved over into what you call N2, O2, argon, helium.
Okay.
All of that is compressed gases.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of tankers, but they're compressed gases. It move different. The chemicals itself, they surge. Any liquid you have in your tank, it surges. So you have to know how to move with it. You have to know how to drive with it. You got to be real careful with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then with the N2O2, it's a little different because now where you have that air pocket in your tank, now the compressed gas, the fumes from the N2O2, they fill that pocket. Now you still have a surge, but it's not going to be nowhere as bad as a liquid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by surge is you have the air pocket. Then from the gas of an N2 is almost like the smoke from from hot ice.
Okay.
That smoke from hot ice gets trapped in the tank. So what that does, it fills in that pocket to where it kind of presses the liquid so it won't move so much.
Yeah.
And so you also know when it does that, it has pressure on the tank. So that's why you have a relief valve in the back of the tank that kind of every now and then when the pressure gets too high on the gauge. That's why when you stop, you got to check your gauge to make sure that pressure not too high. If it's too high, you got to release it because it's a little bitty cap up there that's like as thin as a soda water can like this. And if it bursts and ruptures, it's gonna continuously you ain't gonna never get no pressure on that tank.
And let me just say this: I'm working on a mastery program this year. And that program not only is going to include everything that you need to know to build a successful 6 to 7 figure logistics business, it's going to also include some mentoring, one-on-one sessions with Mr. Roberts in regards to owner operating. That is priceless. The level of knowledge and experience that he has is second to none. And so Ms. Netra did state that she's been mentored and she's in it to win it. And she also wanted to know if you've ever lost a load.
Yes. I was in Colorado. This is another story. Before I even got the company where I was running from Houston to Long Beach, I started with another company that did well services. And what I mean by well services, they took chemicals down to the Halliburton, the tap wells, where Baker Hughes, all of that. So I started that was my first chemical tank job. The reason why I don't never recall it because it was a bad experience all the way around. So I started with them. I got in with a guy because I didn't have no experience. And so at that point, it was all about who you know. It was all about talking to somebody to get you in, give you an opportunity to show people what you got, right? So I'm already excited. I'm excited. I got in. So they brought me in on the flatbed side. But because I had all of my endorsements, they was like, oh, we could contract you out over to the well side. I was like, I'm with it. Because I want that experience. I'm with it. You did? So then I get contracted over to the well side one weekend. They was like, hey, we've been slow all week, man. I know da. He said, hey, we got a truck that belongs in Colorado. Can you get it from from Houston back to Colorado? But we need you to take the load. And so they move what you call isotainers, which is they're basically portable tanks sitting on a chassis. And so that's what you see, those little bitty tanks. Those are portable tanks because you can take them off and on. So they say, we need you to move the isotainer, take it with you, and somebody's going to take it to Utah. Just drop it off and we'll fly you back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, cool, bet. Listen, I did not know that the truck they were sending me up there in had been in a wreck.
Mm.
They had redone the whole front, the front of it, the fan belt, the fan clutch, all of that had been redone. It was an older model truck, not a cab over, but it was old. It still had it wasn't even air ride. So just imagine driving a spring trailer, a spring truck with no air ride on it, and also your trailer that you're pulling has no air ride. It's a spring trailer, so nothing on the truck or the trailer was air ride, right? So I said, man, I got this. Okay. Then, then I had to go pick the container up on the northwest side of Houston, and so I got to come back through Houston in order to start moving up toward Colorado. I said, I got this. This is my opportunity to show them what I'm made of, right? I don't have nothing in the truck. All I got is a truck and an ISO tainer, and it's full. It got chemicals on it. So in my mind, I'm ready because I've been studying about chemicals and I know how the surge go and I know how to, let it just slow down. I got this. Take out. Start going to Colorado. I'm on 45. I get to Huntsville and the truck start running hot. Because the fan clutch. At this time, I wasn't aware of the mechanics of the fan clutch, which it works. It coincides with the AC. So now I'm doing 65 and 2. I mean, I'm rolling 65 with 2 windows down because it's hot.
Yeah,
it's the summertime. So I call on. I say, man, da 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 da. But then all of a sudden, when I call him, the AC kicks in. I say, hey, man, I'm gonna go and roll it. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Woo woo. Man, I get into Colorado, and I'm almost about to be where I need to be. And he said, hey, one of my drivers just had a death in the family that's in Colorado that was supposed to take the load to Utah. He say, can you take the load to Utah? And there's gonna be a driver up there with everything. He gonna load the ISO tainer. You ain't got to do nothing but just drop it, take the truck down, and come on back home. I say, yeah, I got you. Well, man, I said, man, what have I got myself into? It's summertime. I get to Colorado. The fan clutch is messing up. The truck started running hot. Then I get up there to the border of Wyoming and Colorado. Weigh station open. I gotta go through the weigh station. All of that. Then luckily they was just doing a paper check, a level 1. They wasn't doing, getting up on your truck, or they'd have shut me down. I'd have had a major ticket. So I get to the Loves. The Loves right there outside of Colorado, right as you get into Wyoming. And I said, man, I'm done. I said, man, I called him. I said, hey man, you need to give me a mechanic. He said, there's a mechanic on 80. Just get to 80. I say, okay, about 30 miles up the road, it was a Love's what he wanted me to get to. I say, I got you. He said, I'm gonna put you up in the hotel till we get it fixed. I say, okay, cool. So I put some water in there, did what I had to do. So I'm rolling like 45, 55 now, so the truck won't get hot. So I get to the Love's. Dude tell me, hey, your fan clutch gone. And that truck so old, we got to order the part. I said, how long that's going to take? He say, man, right now, this Thursday night. He said, man, it'll probably be here Friday. So I get up there and they change the part. I don't leave there until like Friday afternoon. So now I gotta be in Utah. No, I'm sorry. I leave Friday afternoon about 2. I get to Utah with the load, and if you know anything, if I had to take 80 and drop down because I didn't want to take 70 because 70 would have been too rough of a drive on that truck because this all you do on 70. This
Right.
all you do. So I had to take 80 and then drop down and when all of those little old state highways dropping down out of Wyoming into Colorado, they're slim. So I had to take my time going into Utah, all of that. Get to the spot. Now they tell me that the driver that's supposed to unload the truck, guess what they tell me?
What?
He ain't coming.
I figured it. I figured that.
I say, so how am I supposed to unload the load? But in my mind, I got this. But I'm saying to them, man, are you? He say, listen, we finna hot shot everything you need up to you, cause they need these chemicals. We finna hot shot everything. We're gonna call the driver, and he's gonna send you a diagram, and he's gonna show you what needs to be hooked up, how it needs to be hooked up, what to do. Woo woo woo. I said, okay. Long story short, I had enough passion for this to do my first unload of a chemical tank off of a diagram on my phone. You dig where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And that's when they knew what they had in me.
Yeah.
I did that, unloaded, took the truck and the chemical tank back to Colorado. Soon as I got there, I dropped that shit off and told them, "Hey man, where my ticket at?"
Mm-hmm.
They had me on a business flight, red eye, back to Houston, and the owner picked me up from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He just looked at me like, "Man, appreciate you." Now I'm gonna tell you something. I got compensated real well, but I never do it again. It ain't enough money in the world for me to do that. Anyway, the next week, he asked me, he said, "Do you want to go work in Colorado?" Right? So I say, yeah. Once again, I was running for, I ain't gonna say who I was running for because we was contracted.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going out to a Baker Hughes tank. And in Colorado, the winds are real high. Once again, I'm in that same truck. Spring brakes on the truck. Springs on the truck, springs on the isotainer, right? I'm going down the not the country road, but the county road, trying to getting back there to Colorado. I don't know how many people have ever ridden back there to unload back there, but every step is bumpy and it's windy, right? So now when I hit this bump, the wind come through and push the isotainer, the back of the isotainer, to the edge. And it just pushed it off just a little bit to where the back end of my trailer just slowly started laying down. I wasn't going fast. I was only going about 20 miles an hour, 15. But it slowly started laying down. By the time I looked at my rearview mirror and seen what was happening, it was too late. I had rolled that isotainer over. Now, it didn't roll over like boom, 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 boom. It just laid down. It just laid down. And so when it laid down, it wasn't nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And so it was full. And lucky for me, it wasn't a thump. It was just a lay. And lucky for me, we lost the load because the container was damaged. So you couldn't unload it, right? But we didn't lose the load because it leaked out, right? So yeah, I've lost the load. At that point, I was shook up because I had never been in an accident. I had never had a rollover. I had never had any of that. So I didn't get ticketed because I was off in the country road. It wasn't on the state highway, and it wasn't my fault. But at the end of the day, it was considered a lost load because it couldn't get delivered. So I went to the hotel, and when I got back, they were like, "Well, man," I was like, "Man, y'all ain't got to say nothing. I quit." Cause, bro, cause first of all, the truck they had me in, they had. I don't want to. When I go somewhere and I take on a job, I make sure that all of the from that point forward, I made sure that all of the equipment that I was driving was safe, because I realized that at that point that don't nobody care about your license like the way you gonna care about your license. All they want to know is, can you get my product from one point to the next point? They don't care how you get. They want you to take it in that equipment. They don't care if you say, "Hey man, da da da." No man, take care of your license. If you don't feel comfortable in a truck, if you don't feel comfortable driving the equipment, if you don't do it. That's your license.
Okay. So that was a very, very good story. We have thank you, Netra, again.
Don't play like you didn't know what it was.
So let me just do a quick recap. We talked about how, James said he, had got 10 years probation, violated the probation, ended up having to do 10 years with TDC, which is the Texas Department of Corrections.
Yep.
From there, he built a relationship with a gentleman that was a mentor, while he was incarcerated.
Yep.
Moved on and got out of prison and went on to do a couple odd jobs, and then he got into the industry of transportation. He started driving trucks, and because he felt like that was his passion, and so he even developed a mentorship with someone even during that time. As he just finished wrapping up, he just talked about some of the bad, and that's one of the things that we like to do is keep it 100. We're gonna keep it 100. We're gonna keep it real. There's no perfect driver. There's no perfect dispatcher. There's no perfect broker. There's no perfect anything in this industry. Everybody has either lost a load or had some type of issue with their business that has, not been the best, but you have to overcome those obstacles. You have to keep pushing and pressing your way through. You have to keep grinding and hustling and keep, going forward, because at the end of the day, if this is your passion and this is something you want to do and this is something you want to get involved in, it's not going to be pretty all the time. So the title of our show tonight was From 10 to 20 to Making Six Figures. So,
Can I say something about that real quick? I didn't know that I was making six figures until I got with you.
Right.
Once your accounting background and telling me how the numbers work and what was this and what was that, I was making six figures in 2006, 2007. 2008, the bottom dropped out when George Bush was in there, and trucking just went haywire. That was the worst time for trucking in 2008. And honestly,
that's when I started my trucking company.
Honestly, it hasn't been right since, because at that point, this is how much I had a passion for trucking. I was bringing home $300-400 a week.
When you first started?
No, that wasn't when I first started.
Oh, okay.
No, I started driving in 04, 05, and 08. Trucking dropped. The bottom dropped out of it. George Bush with the oil and all of that, and at that time I was running flatbed, so I was moving pipe, and so the
trucking got hit too just in 2020 with the oil and gas industry as well, when with the oil industry with the whole.
But at that time it was everything. It was a general hit.
Yeah.
Every lane got hit. And you had guys running lows for pennies on the mile, man. You just couldn't make no money at that time. And in my eyes, it never has recovered. It's gotten better. Yeah, it's gotten better, but to what they were making back in 80, 90, and some of the early 2000s, you ain't seen that no more.
So you got in trucking. start generating some amazing, income.
Mm-hmm.
And, fast forward to now, a lot of people don't understand and don't know that a lot of my knowledge, because my husband is my mentor, I didn't find anyone out here in this industry like a lot of, you guys have been able to do. When I got into this industry as a business owner, my husband has been my mentor. My husband has been my rock. My husband has been my accountability partner and has held me uh, accountable for everything. So when you see me now, for some of you who don't know who I am or anything about me, I may not be in the popular group of people in the industry, but I've been here pretty much longer than any of them, because my background goes all the way back to 1998. So I didn't get into trucking 12 years ago. I've been into the transportation industry for 21 years. And so the level of knowledge and experience that I have incorporated with the level of knowledge and experience my husband has on the operating side, on the care, on the driver side, all of that, we built this amazing empire that we're building, I would say, because we not only he has a successful career in trucking now, with a major company I would just say they're within the top 5 trucking companies in the world. That he has an amazing career there. We have a successful dispatching business. We have a successful dispatching training. We have a successful, we're getting ready to have a successful freight brokerage going into 2021. And we also are building a successful transportation and logistics academy. We are here to help and to build this industry up like never before. We're not here for the glitz and glam. We don't just talk about it, but we are about it. And so he's been able to be extremely successful in this industry.
But I'm gonna say this here.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I got a lot from you from when you told me I needed to begin to give what I know away. Because I would always tell you that, hey man, you got to give it away in order for it to be replaced. For God to replace you with knowledge, you have to give it away. And she brought me into the deeper business side of transportation by her passion for wanting to build a legacy for our family. And also she wanted to work from home. So knowing that I wanted to be a mentor, I wanted to start my own schooling. I wanted to train people on what I know and what I've encountered. I wanted to train people on how to be safe and be in compliance with whatever they do in trucking and always come home the same way they left. She taught me how to begin to be a quote unquote driver consultant, of being a consult. And so that's that's a skill that I didn't have that she's given me, that I've learned by just watching her, how she deal with her students and deal with shippers and deal with all of that. Because I'm not a nasty dude. I mean, what I mean by nasty is I don't treat with any kind of way.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, no matter what level you are, I don't treat you any kind of way. Whether you're sitting behind the desk or you're sitting behind the wheel, I don't treat you any kind of way. I don't think my job is more important than yours because we all make this thing go round. So she's taught me about proper customer service and how to deal with customer service. And then when I watch her and how she deal with different drivers, I understand how the other side of the glass feels.
Yeah.
When I go in to pick up a load, that's somebody's husband, that's somebody's wife, that's somebody's daughter, that no matter what kind of day I'm having, I still need to be respectful and have good customer service because of the brand that I represent, that I work for. And if you don't understand that, I mean, I mean, you lost. You got to understand this world is about brands.
Yeah. And Miss Netra said, when can I get started? I'm ready. Tell me what you're ready for. Tell me what you're ready for. The mastery program will not be ready until February 1. This program is not going to be for everybody, but I'm telling you, it's going to be one for the books. It's going to teach you so much, not just with dispatching. Like I said, you're going to learn brokering as well as safety and compliance. We're building something special, something that will teach you how to be so successful in this industry and build a legacy for your family. You're going to be surprised because 2022 for you will be the year of success, the year of perfect vision for you, because you're stepping into something special. I'm not really sure what you're interested in, but you can reach out to me on our Instagram page. You can reach out to me on Facebook at, and I'll put that here, and send me a message. I'll check my messages. Send me a message to my Facebook page, and then I'll find out, and we can talk and see what it is you're interested in.
And I look at it like this here. She's trying to make you so attractive by what you know, who you know, and the knowledge that you have. She's trying to make you so attractive and so beautiful that before you even walk in the door, they feel your spirit coming.
Yeah.
They feel you coming before you even knock on the door, because they know somebody's coming in there that know what they talking about, and you bringing a presence of excellence with you. And so that's what we try to do. That's what we want our academy to be. Is we want our academy and our trainers.
Oh, thank you, Shonda.
And
she said she's already signed up for the program, the dispatching program. Deal. I can't wait to talk to you. Thank you.
We're trying to make sure that our academy and the trainers that we have in our academy and the students that we send out from our academy, that you guys are so beautiful with what you do. So beautiful with what you do, and you're so attractive with what you do and the skills that you have, that you walk into that building and they just be in awe of what you know and what they don't have to teach you, but they teach you their way. See what I'm saying? So one of our interviews called it what? Standard operating procedure. That's what somebody teaches you, their standard operating procedure. So that's what we want you to walk into, a client, a business, from getting our training through our academy, no matter what it is. We want our reputation to go with you, because if we make you beautiful and we build a mansion in you, then our mansion gets bigger.
And Netra Williams said she's been friends with you, James, for over 10 years. Y'all went to Greater Pure Light together. Netra.
Oh, for real? Oh, I know you.
Oh, you know?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'll probably do know.
To see your face.
Yeah, I need to see your face, but that's just where I am. I got.
Message me, Netra. We got you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just say this here. It's refreshing to have somebody on your team that understands your career.
Yeah.
And that makes life just so much easier. That just makes me can go to work. Sometimes she can be, why are you leaving so early? And I know why she's saying it. You know what I mean? Why are you leaving so early? But she understands who I am.
Well, I haven't said that in a long time.
Yeah. She understands who I am, because if I got to be to work for 10, even though I live 30 minutes away, I still need to be to work 30 minutes early.
Yeah, he's a great you're really good with preparing yourself and planning. And that's extremely important in this industry, because even for me, you know, I went from waking up probably, like, I'll be honest, when I worked in corporate America, well, I used to have to be to work at 7:30, and I worked pretty far because I worked, you know, I was in the oil and gas industry, and I was making that bread, that guap, and you know, I was in corporate finance, so I guess I was used to getting up earlier than normal, but I got up in time just enough to make it to work for 7:30. So basically, I was up at 6. I dropped my daughter off at school, and I was able to get to work for 7:30. But when I started my dispatching business, you know, I was up at like 5 o'clock because I was excited, because I'm like, this carrier, he's giving me an opportunity. Shout out to Shaquan Jelks, my first carrier. He's been a true blessing to our family, and just, you know, in the game, and gave me my first opportunity as a dispatcher. And I was getting up super early, and I would get up and call him, and he was asleep. And I'm like, how you the carrier? You still sleep, and I'm up, and I'm the dispatcher. But, you know, that's the beauty of having a passion, you know, for what you do, and, you know, just doing it with the spirit of excellence, you know, and being excited about it. So I enjoyed tonight. You know, you talked to us and told us and shared us a lot about, you know, how you got involved in this industry. You know, how you found out, you know, oh, okay, I was making that bread, you know, but then also how you've been able to build other pieces to add other pieces to the puzzle in your career that has allowed us to be, you know, very blessed.
So my thing is, when you said about 6 figures, and I agree with you on the 6 figures, because let me tell y'all something. In this trucking game, if you hustling and you go and get it the way I know I was going to get it, if you do that and you move it, and sometimes you don't even have to do that. If you just go and get it, if you ain't turning down no loads, and you getting loads there and ain't nothing messed up, and man, you make money hand over fist, and you're spending it faster than you get it.
Yeah.
And so that's when she showed me, look, you had this, you had that, you were doing this, you was doing that, this, that. You were over. I was like, but as you're getting it and you're spending it, you don't see that. All you see is, hey man, I made enough money I was good for this year. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, you know, I could sit here and go tell story after story after story, because I have almost 20 years of stories. But, you know, I love to expand our horizon. I love to expand the platform. I love to give other people the opportunity to come on and say, hey man, this, that. I say, come on. Just like my mentor, he'll be on next week. He's also my brother. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, man, this thing is about giving these new drivers the opportunity to call in and ask questions. And that's why I built this podcast. That's why we started this podcast, is because I said, you know what? I used to be one of those drivers that I was going up a 5-grade, 10-grade incline, and I needed to know how to get there, how to do it. That's why I started the podcast. It's because you can call in and say, hey man, I got this wrong. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere by myself. I really don't have nobody to call. You can call me.
Yeah.
On a Sunday night, you can call me. Get on the line and say, hey man, give me some advice. And then I don't know everything.
Right.
You got other truck drivers that'll hear that and say, no, James, tell them to do it like this here. And I could patch us in on a call, and we could talk that brother through that. That's what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm trying to entertain you.
Right.
I'm trying to get this music thing, how I can play this music without being sued and all that, because I want to entertain those guys on the road. You dig where I'm coming from? Because that's how I know how it is on the road. Sometimes she's not gonna be here. It's just gonna be me and you.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be me and you. And guess what? We're gonna be sitting here jamming, having fun, asking questions, doing whatever. And I'm gonna tell y'all stories, and it's gonna go on and go on and go on. But see, that's why we started it. That's why she talked me into doing this. That's why I came in here saying I'm gonna be that mentor over YouTube, over Facebook, over Instagram. Not to everybody, because everybody not gonna receive me that way.
Mm-hmm.
But to those who want it, it's here. So if y'all got cousins, brothers, husbands, wives, if y'all got, I'm telling you, women, if you want to drive, it's a spot for you in this industry.
Absolutely.
Because this industry is hurting for quality drivers. And that's what we plan on building, is quality drivers.
Amen. Amen. Well, I'm excited. I thank you for giving me an opportunity to let people hear your heart, let people hear, what you've been through, how you've overcome it, how you are now building a legacy for your last name, right? And how you're leaving a legacy for your future, which is our kids. And we're extremely excited. We're happy about what God is getting ready to do for us in 2021. We're excited what he's getting ready to do for you. We know that the time now, it is 7:45. And if anyone wants to call in real quick, feel free to do that. If you just want to say hi, the number is 727-731 2494. You should be able to see it here on the overlay. If you want to sow a seed into what we've been able to share with you, 50 cents, $1, we don't care. This is something that we're looking to build. We want to add more key components to this brand and to this amazing podcast that we're building. We want to be a stand-up role model for more couples in the industry, showing that, there's unity, there's power in numbers, and there's power in unity, and that, it just looks attractive to see more of us, people that look like us in this industry. We got Fr8ght TrapN Apparel. For those of you that can see this, my Fr8ght TrapN Apparel. We're going to have the website up this week, ready for pre-orders. You can pre-order your hoodies. We're going to add
those hoodies fire, man.
They fire. I mean, these are quality custom made hoodies. You're not going to see Hanes his or her way in the labels. You're going to see my brand that I own, trademarked, Fr8ght TrapN. Inside of there, you're going to also get good quality embroidered material. This culture, this is a vibe, man. Fr8ght TrapN. If you're doing anything in this industry, you grinding hard, you providing for your family. This is the industry you want to get in tune to and tap into, because this has been a passion of yours. You finna be Fr8ght TrapN.
You Fr8ght TrapN.
That's what it's all about. Is grinding and getting it by any means necessarily when it comes down to the freight. And so we ask that if you guys want to support that, we will share with you. Stay tuned. We're gonna get some emails, opportunity for you to provide your email so you can stay in tune and in contact with what's going on with that. But pre-orders will be available starting this week. We will have that website up. We'll post something on social media letting you guys know to go ahead, because I'm telling you, we have had a huge request for these hoodies. I mean, a huge.
We about to run out.
Huge order, because we have people from all over the United States ready to get their body in these hoodies. Y'all know that people are wearing hoodies now all year round. We have some other merch that's coming. We're gonna have some snapbacks. We're gonna have our sweater hats. We're gonna have t-shirts. Cups. We're gonna have jogger sets all year round. It don't stop, won't stop. We're gonna have cups, pins. We're gonna come out with a Fr8ght TrapN planner that's gonna be strictly for you to plan not only your day, but plan your loads. You have something to write that down with. Man, we're excited about what God is doing in this industry for just people in general, but we're excited about what he's going to be doing for you in this industry. So for tonight, I want to see if my husband has a health tip before we let you guys go. If no one calls in as we close it up, if he has a health tip he'd like to share tonight.
Two things I want to do real quick. Health tip. Get you some sea moss. One of my guys, the company, you can follow him on Instagram, Juice. That's JA with the what do you call it?
Mhm. The accent.
That with the accent juice, juice. Go check him out. He has some infused sea moss. I got the mango and the strawberry. Hey man, I take that stuff right out of the pack, and it tastes just the way he got it. Mango and strawberry. Go check out Juice on Instagram. That's my homie. Um, that's cause we love to show businesses love. Period. Point blank. Next thing I want to say is this, real quick, and I want to give these two podcasts a shout out. Not really a shout out, but a thank you, because for 2 years, almost 3 years, I watched podcasts. I listened to them. Uh, I just kind of sat back and kind of seen the format, what they did, and I enjoy them. First one, I want to say, hey man, shout out to 85 South, man. If you guys haven't seen their podcast, man, that podcast is crazy. It's bananas, and I want to thank them for developing that platform. God gave them something to develop that platform because they knew that something was going to happen with Wild and Out. So I want to shout out to 85 South. Hey, then the next one I want to shout out to is Gilly the King and Wallow. I want to say that's $1 million worth of game. Man, I watched those guys, man, and hey man, I appreciate them for kind of giving a voice to those of us, because Wallow did like 20 years in the penitentiary, and so he give up game. He understand that they got to mentor in their lane, just the way I'm mentoring in my lane. They gave me a kind of another niche or another seed of how to mentor in my lane, which, over the years, like I told you, those I was locked up with gave it to me, but they gave me another seed and another way to grow another plant on how to mentor these youngsters in this trucking industry. You know what I mean? And people coming in that need mentoring in this trucking industry. So shout out to 85 South. Shout out to $1 million worth of game. Man, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. So, Juice,
Yeah.
sea moss, infused, strawberry mango.
Awesome. Netra said her hubby watches 85 South. And shout out to just really anyone out there that's positive and promoting health and wellness on social media, whoever you follow. Just shout out to them for putting health first. Also, my health tip for this evening would be, just do one thing this week, right? I'm going to take you week by week. Do one thing this week that's going to be impactful to your health. So whether that's a 30-minute walk, a 30-minute jog, or just 30 minutes of any form of cardio, right? Do it. 30 minutes a day this week for the rest of this week. Do it. It will just make you feel so much better. Like, honestly, just help keep that heart pumping and circulating, and things flowing the way that they need to. So my health tip this week would be definitely just take 30 minutes of each day for the rest of this week, starting tomorrow, and do you some cardio. Okay. Always going to support what you guys got going on. You're helping me build my empire, Hustle and Haul Logistics. We appreciate you, Dwight. We thank you. I thank you for being amazing, client of mine and now brother. I started working with Mr. Hall, a couple months ago, and he's definitely, building something special in this industry. And so whatever it is, he knows he can always hit me up. Anything he or his wife needs, I'm here to support you guys every step of the way. Whatever it is you need, we got you.
Good deal.
So with that being said, we're going to let you guys have a blessed night. The time now is 7:53 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we have enjoyed you guys. We love you all. We thank you for being so amazing and so supportive. We ask that you copy this link, share it to somebody's text message, share it to somebody's DM, share it on your Facebook page. Get the word out that Fr8ght TrapN is here to stay. We're going to come in each and every week with somebody or something to just share and put on you guys' mind. We're going to share our hearts with you guys, and we're going to pour into you every week. If you are on Clubhouse and you are a Apple user, if you are on Clubhouse, follow your girl at Clubhouse at Tawana Roberts, and I'm putting that here on Clubhouse. Tune in every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, my time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Clubhouse, where I'm doing everything dispatch. And I have some amazing partners that have partnered in with me. We are one of the first people I've seen to date come in and start just focusing on dispatching, sharing our hearts, giving out free information, free tips, free nuggets. We have hotshot experts. We have freight dispatching experts. We have everything that you need to know to be successful in that lane. Tips and everything for free every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So without any further ado, guys, you guys be blessed and you have an amazing night.
I'll let you.